We are live now. Spotlighting myself. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 248 to 48 of Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. I am Anshuman Mishra and I'm going to be the Sergeant at Arms for the club this morning. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. To ensure this, please follow certain ground rules. Please ensure that all your secondary devices are on silent or switched off mode. You have 10 seconds to check. Please speak responsibly about religion, sex, or politics in your speeches. Use the feature of raising a hand, applause, and thumbs up when needed. Don't use Zoom messaging in between the speeches unless it's required. Until not required, please put yourself on mute during the meeting. If you're playing a role, no need to check whether you're audible or not. One of us will let you know if your sound is not coming or breaking. Please make sure that all the role players have their role name as prefix to and real name as suffix to the username of the meeting. You have 10 seconds to rename yourself. So, for example, I am playing the role of tag team today, so I'll put in tag underscore Toastmaster Anshuman. All right. Now I'd like to hand over the stage to our ever committed, ever shining, really passionate Toastmaster who kindly invited us to our society last time to host a hybrid meeting, which is now kind of a ritual of a president hosting the meeting in their premises. I'd like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Shaunak to take it away. Over to you, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. So, your kind words has made my day, as always. And it's always good to see your smiling face. So, thank you so much. And very good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. Though we don't have any guests today, over past few years, the Bright Beginning has created a warm, friendly, and supportive environment where we gather each week to fulfill our mission to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater confidence and the personal growth for each of us. Our mission derives from our club vision to be a place of deep community where aspiring speakers and leaders come to learn and proven orators and heroic pioneers continue to grow and share their wisdom. At each meeting, we have a theme, and today's theme is nostalgia, where I will share some of my experiences and I will invite you to share your experiences. So, first of all, what is nostalgia? Any one of you would like to take this question? What is nostalgia? We talk a lot about it while remembering our past days or an event that has been closely associated with our hearts. But what is nostalgia? Akansha, Anshuman, Ashutosh, any one of you like to answer that?
So, okay,
Yes.
nostalgia is the bouquet of the memories which you have treasured and you try to revive it and then relive it in your mind or in your brain and try to enjoy the experience, try to feel happy about it, what has happened good in your life during your earlier phase of life, maybe your childhood or your teenage time or when you were younger, few years before, whatever good has happened. So experiencing the good moments of life, I understand, is nostalgia.
Very well said, Toastmaster Ashutosh. It's basically a sentimental longing or wistfulness affection from the past. So, Anshuman, you will have that nostalgia now when you will see your kid growing up, and you will then correlate when your family members or your family will say, "Oh, Anshuman, you used to do the same thing," and then you can relate it back, and you feel that nostalgia. And we do feel nostalgia when we meet our childhood friends or when we see our kids growing up, because effectively the journey is same for all of us. When I think about my first day of the job, and when I look back and meet those people, I feel that nostalgia, how great it was. Those were the different times. When you see, people stepping into your shoes now and doing the same things. So you feel a nostalgic, and it's a part of our day-to-day life in various forms and shape. But before I talk about more on that, let me explain that today's meeting that we would be conducting. This meeting is divided into three parts. The first part consists of a prepared speeches, where members prepare in advance for a 5 to 7 minute speech. The second part is the table topic session, where each one of will come up and speak for 1 to 2 minutes, remark on a topic given by the table topic master. The third part and the most important part is the evaluation section, where our general evaluator for the day will come and share the report for the entire meeting today. So with that, I would like to invite our general evaluator today to come uh, and share the speech objective, Toastmaster Ashutosh, to come and share the speech objective of Toastmaster Akansha.
Yes, Toastmaster Shonak.
Sorry.
Yeah. Before taking up the speech topic of Toastmaster Kansha, I would like to mention my role today as a general evaluator. As a general evaluator, I will be evaluating overall conduct of the meeting, right from the beginning of meeting to the end of the meeting, which is the deliveries of table topics if you are playing today, and I will submit my report by towards the end of the meeting when called upon by you again for submission of report. The purpose of evaluation in general in the Toastmaster meeting, just for the retaliation for the members, if you are not aware, that is to give a feedback. Whatever we do, if we are getting feedback in life, it's giving us reflection to improve upon on the areas we needed to. Helping me in this role today, there is generally a team of TAC, which involves a timer, which involves a counter and grammarian. But all these three hats today, Toastmaster Anshuman is wearing all together by himself. I would like to invite him to describe what his role.
Woohoo. Can't wait to play this role of timer, account, and grammarian together. What a rare or not so rare opportunity. So, as a timer, I'll ensure that all of us are working through the allocated time by presenting the timer cards. I'll be showing the timer cards at 4 minutes for an icebreaker speech at green, 5 minutes at yellow, and 6 minutes at red. And at red, the speaker has to start winding up his or her speech. So that will be my role as a timer. And for spontaneous public speaking, which is a table topic section, the green card will be at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is a signal to start winding down. As an R counter, I'll be noting down the R's, ums, you knows, the filler words and sounds we use in our speeches. Any filler words or sounds take down the meaning or the emphasis of the speech we are stating. The minimal number of ahs, ums, you knows, or breakages we use, the more powerful our speech will sound. So I'll ensure that I'll note down your ahs, ums, you knows, any filler words and sounds, so that you can reflect back, improve upon it in your next speech. Last but not the least, I'll be playing the role of a grammarian. So as a grammarian, I won't be noting down exactly the grammar usages like adjectives or pronouns or nouns, but I'll be just noting down the good usages or not so good usages of phrases, words. And my duty is also to share the word of the day with all of us today. And the word of the day today is collaborate. So to collaborate is to work with another person or group in order to do or achieve something. Collaborate can also be used to disapprovingly to mean to cooperate with or willingly assist an enemy of one's country, and especially enemy who occupies it during a war. So, For example, several research teams from various countries collaborated closely on the project. They were suspected of collaborating with enemy forces. I request us all to use the word collaborate in our speeches generously. And whenever anyone uses the word, what we have to do is show a thumbs up. Show a thumbs up sign when anyone uses the word collaborate. I look forward to the generous usage of the word collaborate in today's meeting. I will be back at the end of the meeting to share the tag team report. Over to you, General Evaluator of the Day, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Let's collaborate together to do a meaningful evaluation for today's meeting. And after this, okay, I would like to invite Toastmaster Akansha to deliver her first speech. Her first speech as an icebreaker speech. I'm also, along with the general evaluator, I'm also playing the speech evaluator for Toastmaster Akansha's speech. Toastmaster Akansha's speech will be to be delivered in 5 to 7 minutes. And the topic of her speech is when your brain says, wow, your heart says, I got to do it. To do, when your brain says, wow, and your heart says, I got to do. Toastmaster Akansha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. I'm sorry, good morning, Toastmasters. Today, in the spirit of nostalgia, I want to share the story of my vibrant journey on the stage. And before I begin, there are a few things that you need to know about me. I love being on stage. I love being on stage. And I love being on stage. Acting, debating, speeches, anchoring, and even dancing. Besides singing, I can and have done it all. Generally, during the college selection process, people Google about the average placements, reviews about teachers, facilities of the college, etc., etc. But I typed best college fests in India. In almost all of the articles, VIT was in top 5. And with that, VIT became my top choice. The first engaging event that I remember was IEYS, India Emerge Youth Summit, where distinguished speakers from different domains come and share as well as collaborate to share their experiences and their knowledge. I saw two people who caught my eyes the most, and they were the anchors of the event, who managed a group of 1,000 plus people in the most effortless manner. I saw them, and my brain said, wow, and my heart said, I got to do this. 1 year later, I auditioned. First round, qualified. Second round, qualified. Part of the onstage team now, selected to open the second day of India Emerge Youth Summit. Easy breezy. Next comes the VIT Dramatics Club's playoffs. I see the plays, people performing and enacting beautiful range of characters with amazing nuances. Again, my brain said, wow, and my heart said, I got to do it. Few months later, I auditioned to get into the club. First round, qualified. Second round, qualified. I am now a part of the VIT Dramatics Club. Next playoffs, I get to be the lead female actor of the play, and we bag the Best Play award. Easy breezy. Next comes Rivera, the official pro shows, or you can say the college fest of VIT Vellore. Again, I see anchors on the pro show stage in front of thousands of people. My brain said, wow. And my heart said, I got to do this. 1 year later, I auditioned. First round, qualified. Second round, qualified. Part of the Riviera Anchoring Club. Bagged the opportunity to introduce Benny Dayal and his band Punctuation in front of 10,000 people. Easy breezy. I am sure that by now, you all are thinking That I have so much experience delivering a speech or anchoring for an event ain't that big a thing for me, right? Hold that thought. Let me take you back all the way to 2011. I am in class 6th, still learning how the senior section of the school works. I see the inter-house skit competition. Now, in my school, we did plays based on classics with traditional costumes, props, and settings. And the first play that I saw was Pride and Prejudice. It was astounding. After watching that play, my brain said, wow, and my heart said, I got to do this. It was on that occasion that I first experienced an undeniable and resonant calling. 1 year later, auditions for the skit competitions are announced. First round, qualified. For the second round, we are given the scripts, and my house chose to play chose a play based on the American musical drama film My Fair Lady. Now, today, if you Google My Fair Lady, you'll get hundreds of videos. But back then, we barely had touchscreen mobile phones. So I constantly pestered my parents to buy me the DVD of the movie so that I can practice and prepare for the scene. On the day of the audition, a teacher and a few senior students are sitting in front of us. I audition, and one more girl along with me auditions. After her performance, I feel a little relaxed because I feel I performed better, and my friends assured me of the same. Results are announced, and I am not selected. Not so easy and not so breezy. She didn't get the role because she performed better than me. She got the role because she looked better than me. And yes, it was said to my face. 2 years later, I gather all the courage in me and I audition for the play once again, Alice in Wonderland. And I am told to prepare for Alice's role. I put in my 100%. Now, by this time, we do have phones, so I just Googled the videos as I practiced. I auditioned and I lost the role once again to the same girl. Now, there isn't any Bollywood twist in this part of the story because sometimes you have to take a hit so that you can rise back up stronger. If I had given up that day, I wouldn't be here in front of you today. It's not easy to be held back because of something you have no control over. You want to fight the world, but when someone calls you chinky, fatso, words just don't come out, do they? Every time I go on the stage, I remember all the times I didn't. I remember everything that has been said to me. And trust me, it's not easy to shush those voices. But I am a fighter and I will keep fighting. To all the ladies and gentlemen who are listening to me right now, if you were able to relate to anything I just said, or if you know that you are being held back because of any reason, fight. Fight it and keep fighting. And trust me, one day it will all be worth it. It will all be silenced by the cheering and the hooting of thousands of people. Now, I am not saying that the hurdles will cease to exist or you'll not hear those voices in your head again. I still do. But if you keep fighting, your audience will shush those voices for you. Whenever you see something and your brain says, wow, and your heart says, I got to do it, do it. Do it and keep doing to your heart's content with unwavering dedication. Thank you. Over to the TMOD.
Such a phenomenal speech. Well, Toastmaster Ashutosh, would you like to say anything?
Yes, a lot. I will say a lot. I had a lot to say, but I'm trying to concise it during my evaluation phase. For now, I can only say it was like listening to a TEDx, some TEDx or TED Talk kind of a speech. Definitely applauds to Toastmaster Akansha for having such a, you
Brilliant.
know, great, persona skills. I'm sure it is not come immediately. You have dealt over it and worked over it time, as you mentioned already in your speech. Let's discuss this more while give my evaluation. What do you, Toastmaster Shonak?
So, continuing with our topic on nostalgia, Toastmaster Akansha covered that part beautifully about her journey of nostalgia, looking back in 2011, how she, gained that momentum and got into the space where she is today. And
Toastmaster
yeah,
Shaunak,
yeah,
sorry, we have Toastmaster Nancy also joining. She's the second speaker for today morning.
perfect.
And
So,
I'll evaluate Toastmaster Nancy.
okay, so I would like to invite Toastmaster Anshuman to come and share the speech objective of Toastmaster Nancy.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Shaunak. I hope Toastmaster Nancy, you're ready to give your stellar speech for the morning. So, Toastmaster Nancy, as is a tradition, like Toastmaster Kansa will be introducing herself to the club in the icebreaker speech. So, the icebreaker speech to be noted is for 4 to 6 minutes. And we look forward to knowing who Toastmaster Nancy is. And over to you, Toastmaster Nancy. Do you want to do a quick audio video check?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All the
Okay.
best.
Okay. Thank you.
Over to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you. Okay. So, good morning, Toastmasters. My name is Nancy, and I am thrilled to be here today. So, title of today's icebreaker speech is First Step Forward. So, when I joined this, I was thinking to join Toastmasters from past 6 to 7 months, and before that also I wanted to join something related to speaking, wherein I can be more polished in speaking skills. So today's title is First Step Forward. When I joined the Toastmasters Club, then this thought came to my mind that this is the first step and long way to go. So I'm going to start my speech uh, uh, today about myself. So, have you ever felt like you are made of completely different words, like a serious professional over the weekdays and a kid at heart or on weekends? So, as in playing games with kids, or learn from them. So, my daughter is 13 years old and my son is 7.5 years old. So, she gained interest in chess, and I was not at all interested in chess. So she joined classes related to chess, and she wanted me to learn so that I can sit with her and learn, and so that I can also participate. I can also be involved while she is playing. So she insisted me a lot, and I learned from her. And eventually, I gained interest in chess. So sometimes it's not that we have to teach them, we are also learning. I never learned chess during my childhood. I didn't know how many pieces are there and what all pieces are there. But now I know chess a lot, a lot. And she is the state champion. She got selected in national. So I learned from her a lot, not only chess, multiple games. So it is like every time, in life you have to learn. So it's not that at a particular stage you don't have to think that we have to teach them. They also they also we learn from them as well. And this so about myself, I did my BTech. I studied BTech, and I That time I joined hostel. I was the only child, so pampered child, I would say. Whatever I asked for, I used to get everything on my plate. Nothing I had to ask for. There was nobody to fight. So when I joined hostel, it was very challenging for me because there was no one to take care of me. And every time, whether I'm having breakfast, lunch, or dinner, nobody used to take care. And after 10 or 15 days, I made my mind that I have to pack my bags and I have to go back. I cannot live alone without my parents. uh, I convinced my mother, but my father was so adamant. He told me that uh, I have already paid the fees, and now, I mean, you have to you have to continue here only, and you have to be independent. Initially, over 2 3 months, it was very very challenging, but after that, I had friends, but I started building, I mean, good relationships with my friends. I started becoming independent. That was big learning phase for me. I mean, that was entire shift of what I was while in school days and when I joined hostel. So those 4 years, I learned a lot, and I was too independent that I started making decisions on my own. There was nobody to suggest. There were only friends who used to suggest, and based on those, I used to make decisions of my life. So that was, I think that was very important for me. If that time I could convince my father and I had to go back, I could not learn that part of my life. So that was the learning phase. Sometimes it is difficult, sometimes the decisions are very very difficult, and but those are good for you in future. Due to those tough decisions, you become a better person. So college and hostel taught me more than just technical skills. It taught me how to survive independently, how to survive late night submissions, make tea on your own. If you're hungry, you have to arrange for your food, even late night. So, and good friends as well. High point during that time was, I was not, I would not say that I was topper, or I would not say I was weak. I was good student, not the topper. But the point is, when there was a campus placement, it is long time back when I joined college. It is long time back. But in our college, there was, during that time, there were not much campus placements happening. After waiting for maybe 6 7 months, uh, there was campus placement from Hewitt Technologies. That time it was a very big company. So our complete that final year students were there, around 70 or 80 students appeared for that test. So there were 4 rounds of interviews, and I was the only one got selected. So which I, I mean, initially I would say I did not have that confidence because I knew that there were n number of students better than me, n number of students performing better in studies, and there were multiple students who were good in speaking. But the point is, that time I thought that there would be something in me as well. That is why I was chosen over those people. So these things sometimes, a positive, uh, one high point gives you confidence that you can also do something like other people. So after that, I joined as a software engineer there. It was, initially it was good. It was good feeling that I got selected. Everything looks fancy, but when I joined, it was, I mean, it was hell lot of work, I would say. I learned a lot, but I had to spend, I used to go to office around 9 and used to come back around 2 3 4 5. It was very very tough. As a fresher, I would say it was very very challenging, but those times also we learned. So it is, my job has taught me patience and sometimes diplomacy as well, and art of smiling, even if you are tired, but you have to smile during long Zoom calls. So many things we learn from each phase of our life. And apart from that, I would say I'm into fitness. Whenever I get time, I go to fitness center. I learn. I sometimes I do yoga. It's dance or it's strengthening exercise. Whenever I get time, I go there. And if I'm not going there, I'm not getting time to go there. I spend my time playing with my kids. Maybe football with my son or badminton or chess with my daughter. So this is how I this is about my personal and professional life, and I love reading books whenever I get time. Toastmasters, I joined, and I am very hopeful because this is one point wherein I feel that whatever good you do, if you are not able to explain it in an impressive way, that, I mean, your work will not be shown properly, I would say. So, this part I was thinking to be included in my life. I wanted to learn that public speaking part so that I can showcase myself well. So that's why I joined Toastmasters group, and no, I mean, I want to speak better, not just in boardrooms, but in real rooms as well, with real people. So I want to share the stories, hear yours, and maybe inspire a few along the way. So I don't know whether the uh, timing is within the time limits or it's too short. So this is just my icebreaker, the first page of my Toastmaster story. I'm excited to be here, to grow, and to hopefully become a speaker who can make people think, smile, and maybe even laugh, just like I hope today. Yeah, that's about me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Brilliant.
So this I mean, I did that today itself. I did not get much time to write story, so that's little about me.
You cannot write your life. You experience that.
Yeah,
Um,
but the point is, we if we are speaking, we should be little bit prepared as well. So today itself, I got chance. Morning, I got up and then I wrote few lines about myself.
but that was brilliant.
Thank
And
you.
one thing I would like to add here: school teachers, parents, they can teach us and share their experiences. But the nuisance of life will only come when we get into it. And that will make
True.
you street smart, how to deal the pressure, how to deal the nuisance of the life, how to deal with the people, how to take decisions in what scenarios. That all comes with the experiences. So to become independent is more important. And with that, moving on to our topic, uh, Anshuman, can we give any role to Sam,
Hi
Toastmaster Sam?
Sam, how are you?
Hello, Toastmaster Sam. Can you hear us? Yeah, I believe he's on mute. Having said and done, so Toastmaster Ashutosh, would you like to share any good experience on nostalgia from your life?
Yes, Toastmaster Anshuman, nostalgia always brings us to the good experiences. So since summers are now approaching and summers are already there and the summer holidays are approaching, in fact, so I would like to bring my nostalgia of summer holidays during my childhood time. It used to be a very, very fun-filled event. Very, very simple things, but enjoyable to the maximum. Spending time in grandparents' house and sharing small things like small money which we get from parents sometimes to share it with some candies or some ice creams or some other things between our cousins, all of cousins. We together somehow gather the collection some small money to buy some uh, sports equipment, sometimes a cricket bat or cricket ball or some football to play the street side football or cricket. Wake up early morning every day in spite of holidays to experience something new, to go to the some of the parks or some of the places which we already figured one night before. Sometimes experiencing, the it's like little. I'm still recalling these things. Those times scooters were the most popular vehicles. So one scooter from one of my uncle and many children, five, six children riding, piling on one scooter and making some kind of a fun ride, and which was also like become sometimes very nasty. And when we return home, not only us, our even uncle used to get a scolding from grandfathers at what kind of things you are doing. So yes, definitely a very, very nostalgic and cherish those memories. I wish our generation, the younger generation children also get the opportunity to experience those simple things.
Perfect. Toastmaster Sam, you like to share your experience on nostalgia. I hope your audio is working fine now.
Yeah, in terms of nostalgia, this thing comes much more about our past and our own culture. Like since I'm a Bengali background, so our nostalgia is like that. We have many festivals. Like we have a word that Baro Mashe Tero Parun means if we have 12 months, we have 13 festivals. So we have majority of those nostalgia linked to our own festivals, own cultures, literature, our lifestyle, those kind of things. So those major those nostalgia is around our own culture and those festivals, rituals. Those things majorly linked to us. Our own like literature, our own say food. And another thing is about those foods. Those memories majorly linked to this kind of things. And time changes, and over the chain, as the time changes, those choices and those things gradually gets modified, gradually gets changed over the course of time. And also the socioeconomic regime changes in the market, in the world, that also impacts on those choices and how we feel and what we felt like 10 years ago, and for the same kind of rituals or festivals, our emotions gradually changes. And that is another observation, you can say that is another observation from my point of view. Like I'm also a 90s kid, so over the like over the last 2.5 decade, these are the major thing I can say. Like just last week we have a Bengali Happy New Year. We say Noboborsho. So that is when you say nostalgia, that around our Noboborsho or Bengali New Year, that is how we spend those days with our own near and dear ones. We make a gathering, family gathering. Those are much bigger thing in life. And for emotional well-being, that is a very good thing. For being having a good gathering, our own foods, our own gupshup, pnpc, those are like much awaited thing that people cherish for years. They share own stories, own emotions, own life stories, and that makes us all very, like, whatever in the lack of connections we have in between our peoples in a family, those events and rituals or connections get much more stronger on those rituals or festivals. That's all.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. With that, let's move on to our next uh, session, which is the table topic. Since Aryan is not here, so I'll be playing the table topic master as well. So, who to invite first? Let's start with Toastmaster Akansha. Toastmaster Akansha, what, which movie or TV show that you still enjoy watching purely for nostalgic reason? Which movie or TV show that you still enjoy watching purely for nostalgic reason? Toastmaster Akansha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shonak. The TV show that I like watching most for nostalgia is Friends. So, Friends is a story about six people who are mainly in their late 20s and how they gradually face each and every phase of that life, especially in that phase where where you're working for job, where you're trying to stabilize your career, where you're looking forward to start your family. And the show captures a lot of beautiful elements of life in the most beautiful and funny way that makes us feel like those problems are not really problems. And that show gives me a perspective to look differently at life as well, because sometimes you can cry a lot about a bad situation that happened, but if you have your friends with you, especially someone like Chandler who has a great sense of humor, you can breeze through life in a very easy way. So I still remember the first time that I watched Friends, and when little things happened, like when Rachel came back from the flight, or when Monica proposed to Chandler instead. Those were the moments that brought me pure joy in class 10th or class 11th, when I had the pressure of boards, of settling into a new school. So, the show that I like to go back to is Friends, so that I can remember and tell myself again that it's okay, that time will pass through, and we can have a different approach of handling life, as well as to go back down the memory lane and live those high school years of mine and feel that joy again. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Shonak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akansha. That was delighted to know about that. Let's move on to Toastmaster Anshuman. Toastmaster Anshuman, tell us about a fashion trend from the past that you either love or absolutely hated. Tell us about a fashion trend from the past that you either loved or absolutely hate about it, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Fashion definitely reignites nostalgia. I'm not much of a fashionable person, but I do understand the significance of fashion in culture, in society, and in general. Different phases of uh, human period have denoted different kind of fashion of how clothing evolved from the 90s or 80s or 70s Hollywood and Bollywood days to today's day and age, where the modern contemporary fashion is influenced by the Instagrammers or social media influencers. So, fashion is something which makes one feel good about, first of all, wearing what one is wearing, and second, how the society is perceiving each other through what one is wearing. For example, in a corporate culture, in the past, wearing suits and boots was the way to go about influencing in terms of authority. That if one wears suits and boots, one is an authoritative person. On the other hand, in today's IT day and age, with Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs just wearing a t shirt, signifies power because that power comes through their intellect, through their presence, through their simplification, because they're reducing their decision making fatigue by reducing the choices of fashion. So, fashion from wearing suits has moved to fashion through just simplicity. So that trend is also moving through movies. When movies signified what the generation then might be wearing, to nowadays when social media influencers are into fast fashion, where the fashion changes almost every week with the low trend sites coming up and influencing everyone. So definitely keeping up with fashion might be for those who want to do that. For me, simplicity is the way out, and I do feel nostalgic about movies, fashion, but not much into fashion nowadays. Would you, Toastmasters Sean?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. As you rightly said, simplicity always prevails over anything else. Moving on to Toastmaster Nancy. What smell that instantly transport you back to a specific childhood memory? What smell that instantly transport you back to a special child memory, Toastmaster Nancy?
What smell? So, okay. I yes. So the smell which comes to my mind thinking about during the childhood days is the smell of the sand after rain. I mean, after rain is over, or when when it is raining, we used to play in the rain, and after that, the smell of that soil was so um, I would say it was so good that whenever, and now these days also, whenever uh, I mean, when the rain is over, the same smell, uh, I mean, that thought came to my mind of, childhood days. So at this, I mean, today also, I like that smell a lot. So, and it was, I mean, that's the only smell which I feel today. And I remember during the childhood days also, it was the, I mean, we used to play in the sand because I used to play in the sand because of the smell of this soil, and we used to make the houses, or I mean, playing in that sand, that I still remember. So
Yeah,
that's over to
something, I
you.
mean, even I miss.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Ashutosh. If you could revisit one moment from your past, what would it be and why? If you could revisit one moment from your past, what it would be and why, Toastmaster Ashutosh?
If I could revisit one moment from my past, what it could be and why. The past is always filled with memories of nostalgic and sometimes memories of some sorrows which we experienced. If I had an opportunity, I would like to visit the memory lane of myself studying in the school and getting bullied by the uh, fellow students. In During my senior secondary school, I got prone to getting bullied by a couple of guys in my class who happened to say that they are my good friends, but then at times they used to bully me a lot. And when I try to counter them or sometimes try to fight with them, sometimes even try to complain about this. Any incident happened with me to the school authorities, they used to say, "Okay, we are your friends. So we please don't take it personally. We are just doing fun with you." I didn't realize that I am giving exposure to my my personality, and it is like rubbing me on the wronger side and giving me a personality which is to be surprised of wrong things, even if you are not accepting it. And which eventually I realized, and today I have a very hard cutoffs on where to accept and what not to accept. But during that phase of time, since my ignorance or my innocence, I did not had the understanding of saying no to the things, even if they are my friends, so saying no politely, creating boundaries so that I had a respectful, uh, time and a peaceful mind in during my that phase of time. So if there is an opportunity, I would like to erase that moment and make it more definitely different for me. That's it from my side, Toastmaster Shonak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. And as Toastmaster Akansha said, if you really want to give away something, fight. That's all I can say. Over to Toastmaster Sam. Describe a favorite family tradition from your childhood. Describe a favorite family tradition from your childhood, Toastmaster Sam.
Can you repeat once again?
Uh, okay. Describe a favorite family tradition from your childhood.
Okay, so there is a tradition, not only in my family in Bengali, that is the hate kori. We say it hate kori. That is the first time when a baby starts learning something or starts his education. That is the day we say it hate kori. So that is the occasion. I can say not a one occasion. That is one occasion, and another occasion was say mukebat. Mukebat, what's it? Is the first time they take the food, and both thing was it was like a starting something both in education or in taking a food. But that day, what is judged that by unknowingly doing something, but on that doing something without the like circumstances or outcome, what a baby choices, what they choose, like on the day of hatekori, what kind of book, whether it choices the books or the that time there is no such pen or that thing. So we say like a old fountain pen kind of things. So the we say, so those are things like on the superficial side, on the materialistic side, what, because for a baby what is very colorful or very like good looking thing or attractive thing, that gets the attention. So what does that baby do, both in terms of that education, the first day of education or first day of food, what he choices or what kind of choices he made, then and that makes a like long term family discussion, that okay, that day he chooses this thing, so he may be going to be like this, and this kind of things goes for it becomes a memory of that person, that okay, at the childhood he made this kind of things. And sometimes it makes sense and some, most of the time obviously it doesn't make sense, but it's a very sweet memory. That's all.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sam. I think I have covered everyone. Toastmaster Anshuman, would you like to give me any table topic?
Yes, of course. Why not? All right. So, Toastmaster Shonik, describe a memorable holiday celebration from your past. Describe a memorable holiday celebration from your past, Toastmaster Shonik.
So when I finished my 12th, my cousin, he asked me, are you up for a vacation to a hill station? And frankly speaking, I have never been to any hill station before that. So I was very excited for this proposal. And I was more excited about that. I'll be traveling with my cousin and his friends for the first time, because prior to that, it was always with the family. I said, why not? Let's rock it. So he planned for Shimla. We started with Chandigarh, where the rest of his friends had joined us, and then we moved to Shimla. And that was a very memorable experience for me. First of all, I was seeing hills for the first time in my life that time, and that too with all boys group. So we had a great rapport building during that uh, vacation, and we enjoyed a lot. I got to see the new things for the first time, tried new food. I met a lot of new people that time, and it was a very energetic experience for me, and that paved the way for me for my future trips with my friends and to explore world further. And that had given me a new perspective altogether. When I came out of my nutshell and try exploring things on my own, we tried a lot of things. I mean, though I was a teetotaler at that time, and we actually I started my spirit journey from that particular vacation itself, where my cousin opened a lot of drinks for me, and tasted me a lot of new flavors. So in other sense also, it was very refreshing and knowledgeable for me to get to know the other side of it. And I mean, we did a lot of crazy things, not as crazy as you might all be thinking, but being a person who has never tried doing a lot of things, going for treks, exploring the smallest of the things. So that was a beautiful journey altogether, and that laid a foundation for my other life journeys. So that's all. Thank you. With that, let's move on to the theme of the day today. We talk about nostalgia quite a lot, and even our table topics were related to the nostalgia. You all shared great stories about nostalgia, how you perceive things now and how they were back then, how things have changed over the period of time. I see nowadays kids are taking extra classes. They've been forced to go out where they are in front of TVs or laptops or gadgets all the time. And I can recollect a time where my parents used to tell me, come get inside the home, you'll be playing all the day. And that's a shift where I see children are becoming more confined to your own comfort in front of the gadgets rather than just going out to play, and that can help them bringing their own physical and mental development. Also, in terms of the socialization, what I feel and I feel nostalgic about, where there were no boundaries, the the neighbors were like a family. You can reach out to them at any point of time. Even your far neighbors used to know about you, and you used to know about them. You were least bothered about where your child is playing, because he is safe. There are people to look after them. And now if I see, people doesn't even know who their neighbors are, because we are so occupied in our own life that we can't bear any interference. If I see my children, and if their friends turn up, we see why they don't go and play outside, why they want to create a mess at house. Whereas that was not the case back then, when my mother or my grandmother were there. It was like a feast if children are coming to the house. Definitely, I mean, we also do the same things. We used to scatter everything all together. But that time the children were welcoming. They were welcomed by the family members. But now at times I see that shift where people say, why you go and play outside rather than create a chaos at home, because they are so occupied and tired with their own day-to-day routine. So yeah, that's some of the thing I observe and just wanted to share. But yes, let's move on to the final section of today's meeting, which is the general evaluation. And I would like to call upon our general evaluator today to come and share the report of the general for the overall meeting, the conduct, and how things went from that. I would like to invite Toastmaster Ashutosh to come and share the general evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaunak. So before I go to the evaluation of overall meeting in the role of a GE, I would like to take the evaluations of speech delivered by Toastmaster Kansha, and following my fellow evaluator, collaborating together. Toastmaster Anshuman will be giving the feedback on the speech of Toastmaster Nancy. Then we move to the general evaluator spot. On the evaluation of Toastmaster Kansha. Toastmaster Kansha, or shall I say, host Akansha or Vijay Akansha. This is one of the rare evaluations. I'm not sure it's only to me, but maybe the other fellow Toastmasters can also give their opinion. Wherein I say, during an ice-breaking speech, the speaker is more confident than evaluator. I congratulate you strongly, Toastmaster Kansha, for the skills you have acquired of delivering a flawless and very, very confident speech using the positive attributes which you have accumulated. Majorly, I can say, is your body language. You have a very strong, very positive body language, which attributes to your powerful speech delivery, and you have a possibility to go miles ahead in public speaking, in Toastmaster and the other platforms which you are experiencing. Speaking about your today's speak more in detail, I will give you the high points which I found were very good, particularly the body language usage, which I already mentioned. Your facial expressions, your constant eye contact during the camera, it shows that you're not only well versed in delivering a speech, you also know how to conduct that speeches online. That you need to be vigilant to watching towards the camera, and your the stellar in your today's performance again has been your hand gestures. I was, I could not even take the notes or remember the places during the 5 minutes or 7 minute speeches, the times you have used hand gestures. Whenever you're referring to any new instances like round one, round two, every time you're using your hand. Whenever you are mentioning, even you are typing something, you I think remember you were typing some trying to say you typed something to search in Google, you use your hand gestures. You have used your hand gestures to show say, fighting. You also you shown your fist, right? So very powerful hand gestures. I suggest you can use it more often. And next time, if you're speaking online or in a hybrid platform or the on-site platform, try to do a speech with the standing so that you can use the full usage of your body and your hand gestures. Good usage of words, I found very strong. Good usage of words and rhymes, especially easy breezy. And my brain says, "Wow, this used here rhymes." This created an interest. The naturally spoken speech would have been otherwise, of low energy. This happens. Most of us experience this kind of things that you experience. Go through a learning curve. When you're trying for first time, you fail. Second time, you fail. Third time, you fail. You gain experience, and but in the end, you finally trump and you become successful. But this journey had been explained very well by you. And this rhymes, addition of rhymes had added the flavor and interest to be hooked into the speech to the end. Speaking about a few recommendations, Toastmaster Akansha, of course, nothing in the world is perfect. Perfection is a myth, as we say in Toastmasters. But you are, I can say, near perfect. But still, if you, as a Toastmaster, you can try to income by a few things, especially on the starting and end of the speech. Starting the speech, it's when you're starting a speech, especially in Toastmasters, not recommended to do with greeting people you're already part of the group and you need to deliver this. You can start directly with starting a striking question. When was the last time you remember the last time you failed in certain doing something, or striking question. You can give a reference to a time where you are doing something, maybe first experience of your 2011 school, that participation, or some new experience of latest experience of participation in some college event. Or you can ask, start with a phrase. So you can check about from these things from Google probably, but these are the few strong openings which will add more flair to your stellar speech. Ending also equally, you can end with a positive note or some phrase or an anti-note which can remain like your recall in for the audience. I don't remember it ended with any message or a phrase, so maybe I missed it, but I don't remember you adding a phrase. Again, I think as I mentioned, you could have. It's not that so is that first time, but as an that the stature of speech speaker you are, you could use your to standing up, delivering the speeches standing. You can add more flair to your speeches. I think overall, very positive, very powerful speech, Toastmaster Kansha. You used your emotions, nostalgic experiences, and strong personality attributes. You used club together. And it's very good that you could use all of these put together in the first speech itself. I strongly again congratulate you and welcome to you the club once again. And on behalf of the club, I can say it's very fortunate that you are there in this club. All of us will learn a lot of things from you. So that's it from my side on the speech valuation. Then over to my fellow evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman, to evaluate Toastmaster Nancy's speech.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Congratulations, Toastmaster Nancy, for your first speech in Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club. As you already shared that it was an ambitious endeavor from your end to prepare the speech right in the morning, and to say the least, you did a fantastic job at that. We got to know different sides of your life and facets uh, today, which was the purpose of speech, for you to introduce yourself to the club so that all of us can relate to you and work with you in the future, building different speeches and giving and sharing feedback. So, right from the challenging hostel days, uh, bringing up different anecdotes and stories of how your parents supported or did not support in your journey through the hostel days, how you were pampered earlier to how you had to be independent and your own driving force. That message definitely drove through. And then you took us through your journey of your professional career, how we have to put mask at times, smile when we do not want to smile, or be there when we do not want to be there. So, from being pampered days to being responsible days, you covered your entire journey and shared with us your facet of what Toastmaster Nancy stands for. So, overall, from the speech objective purpose, you did a great job. One part that was good about your speech was your voice modulation and your reflection. So your strength is to be genial, to be communicative, to be authentic, to share, to be vulnerable. I'll suggest in your future speeches you continue doing that. You bring up great stories from your lifetime. That is definitely a major strength of your speech. As you progress through the Toastmaster journey, there are different nuances of the speech that you'll be challenging yourself for. For the next speech, which you're going to give hopefully soon, my challenge to you will be to stick to one or two stories and start with the story. So, for example, if it's a hostel story, start on the story note. For example, I still recall my hostel days when I had to wake up in the morning, prepare my cup of tea, and I was nostalgic about my parents challenging me to take up the hostel life, where I was so used to the pampered life of my home. So rather than starting with thank you, Toastmaster Shaunak, I'm going to give the speech today, dive directly into the speech aspect. So that is an important aspect to hook the audience. It's called the hook at the introduction phase. That's something you can do. and try to think of your speech in terms of two or three stories. So, like in school essay writing, you write beginning, middle, and end. There's a beginning part of the story, then middle part of the story, then ending part of the story. You can pick up one story or two stories maximum for 7 minutes. That's more than enough. More than that, it's just usually a stream of thoughts. Secondly, to challenge yourself, my suggestion will be to not repeat any thought that you've already shared. There was quite a few repetition of thoughts. That's maybe because you prepare the speech today morning. My suggestion will be to work with your mentor who will be allocated to you soon by Toastmaster Aryan to write down the speech, edit the speech, and think about the speech in terms of a draft, pointers, or just share the speech. So for the next piece, my suggestion will be to write it down, practice one or two times, record yourself, seek feedback, and then share the speech because that gets into your subconscious mind and eventually your even spontaneous speaking improves a lot. So overall, great stories, great anecdotes, pretty genial voice, familiar voice, relatable voice. You're able to communicate the ideas pretty well. For the next time, I'll challenge you to write down your speech, take feedback from your mentor, and just stick to one or two stories and start with the story and not delve into any other idea. I look forward to your upcoming speech. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. As you're hearing too many hats today, it was three, but now it is more than three. We move to the general evaluator round. And before giving the feedback on overall conduct of the meeting, I invite again you, Toastmaster Anshuman, to the summary of meeting today as your attack report.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Ashutosh. In terms of the timing, so timing wise, Toastmaster Kansha stood at 6 minutes and 21 seconds, well within the time. Toastmaster Nancy, I don't know if you're able to see the timer cards, but uh, it went up to 7 minutes 30 seconds. However, maybe we can look at the timer cards for you separately if it was not being visible on your screen. However, great generous speech. Coming to the good usages of phrases, they included became my top choice. It was outstanding, undeniable, and resonant calling. I put my 100%. If I had given up that day, I am a fighter. Kid at heart, I learned from her in life. You have to learn art of smiling. What can be improved is a lot was used multiple times in the phrases. It can be just it was a lot. It was very very challenging. Can be it was highly challenging or it was just challenging. Hell lot of work can or cannot be used depends on the context, but can be substituted with say more diplomatic work. It was a lot of work in terms of ums, and I'll also share the table topic timing. So all the table topics were within the time. Toastmaster Kanso is 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Nancy at 1 minute 15 seconds. Toastmaster Ashutosh is 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Sam 1 minute 21 seconds, and Toastmaster Shonak at 1 minute 38 seconds. The word of the day collaborate was used twice. I think one by Toastmaster Ashutosh and once by Toastmaster Kansha. Um, in terms of you know. So Toastmaster Akansha was almost flawless in her speech. Uh, like in just the word where she stuttered a bit, except that it was a theatrical flawlessness almost. Toastmaster Nancy definitely challenged herself today. It was an impromptu speech. So we had three so's, one so that, one very, very, one a lot. So I think for Toastmaster Nancy, the key message is to not repeat messages and words. I think that will make your phrases more powerful. Toastmaster Ashutosh, two so's, one ums. Toastmaster Shonak, one one like in your respective roles. Toastmaster Sam, it was almost flawless, one one. Uh, I had a busy morning. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, again for making such a detailed report, irrespective of juggling between different roles. I think I can experience, or I can see that what kind of challenge it would have been for you to experiencing that, taking the time limits and the timers, and then also capturing the good usage, bad usage, everything, and then evaluating the speaker, but definitely you delivered it very well. Okay, coming to the final quest, or the uh, place where we all experience self-reflection, including me today, the general evaluator. I can say overall conduct of the meeting had been fantastic. Not only good, it has been fantastic, considering we all started with a very small group of people and the roles were not very clearly defined in the beginning of the meeting, but we juggled very well, and as a strong team, we distributed the allocated the roles very well. Meeting started almost well in time, and I think I congratulate again all of us for having such a small forum but successful conduct meeting, including all sections of the meeting which are planned for. Prepared speeches, not only one but two. Table topics, delivery, very well topics, very well chosen from Toastmaster Shonok and delivered. Everybody participated and experienced, shared their experiences, journey very well. And also the finally we are coming to the evaluator run. Talking about the specific role players, Toastmaster Shaunak, you have judiciously taking a very meaningful topic, considering this group having maximum of Gen Zs, and why we all have very, very cherished memories from childhood, from our teenage, from again adulthood, and the youngest time you were there. I'm sure all of us would have a lot of things uh, today, experience in nostalgia is again relived today while we are doing this session. Sharing our experience, we might have shared one, but in our mind, we might have experienced three or four. We did not have the opportunity to share more than one because considering the time. But today, I'm sure all of us will experience this more and more, and relive this, try to relive within our brain or within our heart more of what has happened during, our earlier times, which we will look forward to possibly have it again. And you have delivered this topic, conducted this, this very well, asking the right questions to the audience, and participating, encouraging the audience participation during all the phases of the event. Talking about the speakers, definitely we had a very fantastic speeches today from Toastmaster Kansha, Toastmaster Nancy. I look forward to more speeches, deliveries from both of you, and it will be a great, opportunity to experience more of your speeches. Uh, on the table topics, I think all of us delivered reasonably well. I could not take specific notes on the topic deliveries, but considering the questions asked on the uh, nostalgia, events related to nostalgia, what has been experienced, like the Toastmaster Kansha has been asked for her favorite TV show. She definitely very well chosen the TV show which she might be definitely watching it, and narrated a story also to it. So very fantastic delivery. So this is what one of the delivery which I remember, and followed questions also related to the memory lane of experiencing something good, which I think all of us delivered. I am pardoning taking a pardon for not taking specific notes on the other speakers. And I think the and evaluation along with me, Toastmaster Anshuman did a very good evaluation on the speak of Toastmaster Nancy. I think I tried to do justice. Let me maybe somebody can give feedback on how I evaluated Toastmaster Kansha's speech. So that's it from my side. Look forward to having more meaningful and more enjoyable meetings. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shonak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for such a brilliant evaluation. along with the supporting team. And this evaluation reflects how are we progressing. And that's the whole purpose of it. Yes, there will always be improvement areas. Until or unless there won't be any improvement areas, we will never, move further in life and identify where are the gaps. Having said and done, let's come on to the topic. And as we progress in the life, the stage of nostalgia will further grow, where we'll have happy moments, sad moments, moments that will give you goosebumps, when you look back and compare your life with your kid's life, or with your friend's life, and so on, as you see how the society is progressing compared to what it was back then. And that's a continuous journey. So with that note, I would like to end today's meeting. I don't have any comments. If anyone has any comments or feedback from today's meeting, please feel free to come up with that. If not, then